Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bluddworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video is going to be an unscripted and unchained hot take on third-party sellers versus print-on-demand versus the Trove and other archive/pirate sites for PDFs. So I'm going to begin by talking a little bit about my own experience with all three. I utilize all three, have for quite a number of years now, and my practices is that I obviously like a lot of old school RPGs, and I've spent a small fortune on amassing the collection that I have. And you can see some of it right behind me. So you see an entire section of my bookshelf that is all first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, including the box set for the World of Greyhawk, all of it original, all of it bought on eBay, and probably very close to let's say an average of about $35 to $40 per book. So there's easily $500 sitting on that couch, on that bookshelf alone. I have all of the second edition as well. But for each of these, I've also gone online and looked for a PDF, so that when I am doing reviews or flip throughs or whatever, I actually have the PDF, which in most cases is an easier way for me to present the products out to you. There are no instances where I have gotten a PDF from a place like the Trove and printed it out and used it. I used it for the purposes of even playing for my own purposes or even reading. I've usually got them after I found the physical copy and purchased it. Now, that in my mind is just using websites like the Trove or others like it, because the Trove is not the only one out there where you can find PDFs of older games. But that's using it as if it's an archive. And in some cases, like Dragon Magazine, there are legitimate archives out there for older edition Dragon magazines. Well, actually, all Dragon magazines are older edition. So that's how I have personally used PDFs on the Trove. I don't like to print them out to begin with because they become so ink intensive and so costly that way that you're better off going to print on demand. And that's going to be my next discussion here. So print on demand is usually through, again, another third-party seller, such as Drive-Thru RPG, where you're going to go to Drive-Thru RPG, and sometimes the license holders of the older editions of games, so Wizards of the Coast in particular, holds the license for all of the older TRS gaming products. And they've made many of those available as both PDF and as print on demand. Then there are other companies, not as large as WotC is, that have their own websites, and you can go and get the same thing. You can get their older products as a print on demand. And comparing, in some instances, and I'm going to say these are fairly rare instances, but comparing the PDF to the that is recreated in a print on demand to the PDF that you found on the internet on your own, sometimes they do not match up well. All right, as sometimes the PDF found on these archival or pirate sites are actually a higher quality than what you're purchasing on print on demand. And that's an issue with print on demand, is that print on demand needs to be of an equal or higher quality than what people are going to find, sailing the high seas on the internet. So I'm going to show you two examples of print on demand done correctly, print on demand that could have been done better, and where third party sellers such as eBay are allowing product to be sold on their service in a very unfair way, which again further drives people to turn to those archival slash pirate sites in order to get what they're looking for. So I am going to switch views here. And as you can see behind me, you can see all of the stuff I have behind me. So, I'm not talking out of my butt when I say that I literally buy the physical copies of everything that I've shown on this channel. But I picked up two print on demands that I want to focus on. I picked up Zebulon's Guide to Frontier Space. This is produced by WotC, Wizards of the Coast. It is a print on demand through Drive-Thru RPG, $11.50. If I wanted the PDF along with it, it would have been like $13 and change. So under $14 to get this. This exact book is being sold on eBay by some sellers for $40 to $50. All right, and they do label it as a reprint. All right, so they're not. I'm not saying that they're trying to hide the fact that it's a reprint. But what they're charging for it, when you can go to Drive-Thru and pick the same thing up for under $12, is a good bargain. Now, you all know, if you've been following my channel, that I despise the fact that Wizards of the Coast puts what I consider to be an unfair disclaimer on all of the legacy TSR products, saying that they were produced in a racist time and blah 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 blah, and it was wrong then, it's wrong now, but they're still selling it. So it really did pain me to pick this up, but the reason why I picked this up was twofold. Number one, third party was just making this too expensive to buy. All right, and the recent debacle of TSR games, TSR3, that some are referring to it as, I believe, directly impacted driving the price of the original Zebulon's Guide to Frontier Space over $100. And I'm just not willing to spend that kind of money to get the original when I can get a print on demand for $11.50. Now I'm going to go and show you what this actually looks like. And you can see, so here it is, and I just want to show you the quality. The quality is here. All right, it does not look like a scan. It is very clear. The book is, the pages are white as could be, brand spanking new. Everything is very clear. It does not look like a scan, um, and it's just done well. I mean, there are some parts of this that I think would have been nice, that they could have done, such as the map. I would have paid I would have paid up to $20 if they had the cardboard map insert. All right, but this is done right. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Wizards of the Coast is not just taking a very poor quality scan and then throwing it out there. All right. So I give them credit in that. Uh, Again, I despise the fact that they have that disclaimer, and that does bring me up to the second reason why I purchased this. And that second reason is that, quite frankly, with all of the craziness going on with TRS-3, I decided that, you know what, I just want to get a hold of this before it's priced well out of my range. And if Wizards of the Coast ever does stop producing it for whatever reason, then I just won't have an affordable copy to get. So that's why I kind of violated my own desire to stay away from Wizards of the Coast products, uh, because of that disclaimer, just in this particular case. Now to my next example. My next example is Swordbearer. So this is produced by Fantasy Games Unlimited. Again, I could go to eBay and I can get the original box set for about $100. And that's not a terrible price for me to spend to get the original. But again, it's real close to my cutoff point, and I did want to get a copy of it. So I was able to go to Fantasy Games Unlimited and get the print on demand. Now the print on demand was about $15, or maybe it came out to like $18, so not bad at all. The print on demand, again, on eBay, charges very close to the same thing, if not a little bit more. So it was a bargain to get it from Fantasy Games Unlimited. However, let's take a look at the quality. So here we have it. Front cover looks fine. The binding is good. It looks pretty solid. And then here we have the issue. You can see I'll let it try to catch up here. Maybe I'll have to click. There we go. You can see right here, all right, that this is a scan. And that's normally not a problem. I don't have a problem with them scanning the old. It's just that they didn't do it to fit the page. And so you already have a very small font that's getting shrunk down to about 90% its size, and it's just mind-boggling that this, the original page already had a border. All right, they didn't need to do this. They should have at least expanded it, and or reproduce it. I don't mean reboot the entire game. I'm talking about just rewrite it and put it into a modern format that can then be produced out there. They still own the art and everything like that. They still own all of the IP, so they would have been able to produce it. Now, I'm not overly upset at this because this was still a bargain for what it was, but they certainly could have done better. And again, this same book on eBay is costing a little bit more than what they're offering it for. But to compare that back to the Trove and its scan of Swordbearer. And there's really no comparison. If you were just going to use it on the screen, you have the benefit of the PDF that you can now expand and make it larger if you need to make it larger. I think that when you do print them out, they're going to be printed out at the full size of the original scan. And so being 10% larger de facto just from what Fantasy Games Unlimited produced here. So kind of wrapping everything up, I think third-party sellers have a responsibility to make sure that that resale of print-on-demand products that are still in print that you can still get are not being jacked up in the price. I think that print-on-demand has the responsibility, especially if they are the original IP holder, access to just doing more than just scanning it and printing it out, but actually having the ability to rewrite the piece and into a new form. It can be used on demand, but a clean, non-scanned of it. And sites like the Trove and other archive sites have a responsibility, I think, in order to not make money doing what they're doing. So not collect advertising while running their site, and be a true archival site and really stick to older products and put nothing out that is still in print by its original IP holder. They should not be producing those those PDFs. All right, for people to either see, or if they are doing it, they should do it with the very distinct, out there, like this is for advertising purposes, and give people glimpses of what the pages are. But in general, they should stick to older, out of print, archival type of approach to these documents, so that we can then open them up and take a look at them and then make the decision, hey, I really want to get my hands on this and go out and buy it. Now, I know some people, especially on Twitter, are going to say, oh, well, you know what, it's straight out piracy and people are losing money. I do not personally believe that people are losing money. I am not anything unique in this hobby. I spend a lot in getting the originals, probably a little bit too much, and but I'm certainly not unique in the fact that the way that I use these archival sites, I think is within, fair use of the internet, let's say. And anytime you buy a physical copy of something from let's say drive-through or something like that, another service like that, it should actually come with the PDF bundled together. All right, so that's something else that the original IP holders could do as well, for the benefit of the hobby, is to put that PDF bundled along with your print on demand, so that you have both, and that way you can go forward. And like I said, I don't mind paying a few extra dollars, but there are some cases where they don't bundle them up, and I think that that's a detriment to the hobby in general as well. So once again, you know, hot takes. I always expect that I'm going to get thumbs up and thumbs down. Please feel free to leave your comments in the comments section, whether it be positive or negative. I mind criticism as long as it is not personal or abusive. And once again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime soon. I have a lot of other things going on right now. I've been doing some videos on Crowfall, which is an MMO that I backed back in 2015, and it just came out this past few days ago. Actually, about 5 days ago it came out. So really excited to be playing that game for the first time, and I will be doing a review of Swordbearer, because this was a great game back in the day. I really enjoyed it. We actually converted this game system to the to John Norman's Gore setting, so we really had a lot of fun with this game system, and it was the thing that we liked about this system was that it was actually a little bit more lethal than even Advanced Dungeons and Dragons First Edition. So that was something that we liked about it. I'll also be doing a review of flip through of Zebulon's Guide to Frontier Space, and talk about that in the context of the other two box sets that I have right behind me. Alpha Dawn and Nighthawks, and how they kind of come together and are integrated fairly well. So again, thanks for joining. I hope you like this video, and you have a great day. It's kind of gloomy out today, so hopefully you're going to have better weather than I will. All right, have a good day.